Play that shit.
Who you think you playing with? I won't show my hand, bitch. Niggas hang mad, envy me and I can't stand it. I was down bad, bitch, broke my heart and let me.
Hey man, man, what's good with y'all boys, man? It's your boy Quizzo, aka Quiz the Plug, man. I'm back in another banger. And today we got my guy, Larry Bird. We got Making a Case, Larry Bird. It's gonna be a good video, because honestly, I never considered Larry Bird to be in the GOAT debate. I'm not gonna lie, so let's see if the video changed my mind. Like, my GOAT debate is usually between Jordan and LeBron. Like, that's it. It's just Jordan and LeBron. I ain't never put Magic in there, Kareem. I don't put him in there. I mean, Kareem my top 5, but I don't really put him in the GOAT debate with Jordan and LeBron. So let's see if this changed my mind and Larry can jump into that debate or even be my GOAT. Let's see what these stats say. But before we get into it, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. Follow all my social description down below. Y'all been showing crazy love. Just hit 800 subs, man. Congratulate me. Just had to let y'all know, bro. I love the support. I appreciate it. Keep supporting, bro. We on the road to 1K. And we right there, bro. 200 more subscribers, bro. And we at 1K. But let's get into this video. All right, Larry. Let's make your case.
Basketball is special. The size of the court and the lack of pads or helmets give fans the most intimate experience of a team.
Nah, bro. If you ever see Shaq coming at you full speed, bro, just jump out the way, bro.
The size of the court and the lack of pads or helmets give fans the most intimate experience of a team sport that exists. And because of the different styles that basketball allows for, players develop their own distinct identities and signature styles through their creativity, flair,
Pistol Pete,
and athleticism.
Hey, that's probably the greatest oop ever. I ain't gonna lie. It's no debate. That's the greatest oop of all time. It's him and LeBron oop on Jason Terry. Those two greatest oops ever, bro.
And although no player succeeds alone, the scoring volume and two-way nature of the sport give individual stars a nearly unprecedented amount of control over the
floor. Oh yeah, one more thing before we start. This video is shorter than LeBron and Jordan video already, so shorter case. Let's see.
Flow and outcome of a game. For this reason, players are constantly compared to their peers and to the legends of the past in order to answer the most hotly contested question in the sport. Who's the greatest to ever do it? For many, the question is redundant. They believe in only one right answer, their answer. Others might have their own personal stance, but acknowledge one or two alternatives.
Hey, I see how I changed my mind. I used to be a LeBron GOAT stan, bruh. Now it's my guy MJ.
But I believe that there's much more new question of greatness and more answers to it than you might think. By my count, there are 8 players in NBA history that have a substantial claim as the GOAT. It's a subjective thing, though. I can't give you a definitive answer. All I can do is make the argument. So today, I'll be making the case for Larry Bird as the greatest basketball player of all time.
I see why though. Larry could literally do everything, bro. Bro had vision, a jumper, he could play D. I mean, what couldn't he do, bro? Let's see.
When it comes to basketball, Larry Bird is the smartest, clutchest player to ever play the game.
I agree. After watching some Larry Bird videos, bro was clutch. Bro, IQ was crazy, bro.
Now, if you don't think that Larry Bird is the greatest basketball player of all time, you probably hate that I just said that. Those are the kind of talking head sport cliches that surely impact the game, but are impossible to empirically measure. Normally, I'd agree with you, but I think that when you talk about Larry Bird, you see those intangibles become real, palpable results. I wouldn't have said it if I didn't believe it. When Larry Bird was drafted by the Boston Celtics in 1978, the NBA needed saving. Attendance was in the toilet, the league had few marketable stars, cocaine addiction had several players in its grasp, and most—
Nah, my guy David Thompson was on coke? What?
Damning of all, playoff games were being tape delayed. Playoff games at the highest level of basketball were being put in the back seat for black and white movies and network reruns.
That's tough.
But rather than join the Celtics after being taken 3rd overall, Larry Bird decided to return for his final year at Indiana State, a decision that would prove to be one of the most important in the history of the sport. Bird's final year saw the Sycamores tear through college basketball, going 33-0 before the national championship game. Bird, already claimed by the NBA's most historic and prestigious franchise, had established himself as the generational talent who would inherit the mantle of pro basketball.
Facts. That started the Magic Johnson and Bird rivalry. I thought Bird went to like Indiana, University of Indiana. I didn't know he went to Indiana State. I just learned some new knowledge.
Indiana State's opponent in the national championship was Michigan State, captained by the immortal Irvin Magic Johnson. The Sycamores lost the championship to the more talented
Magic
Spartans in the highest-rated game in the history of basketball at any level still to this day.
Damn.
The stage had been set. The next decade of basketball would be defined by the rivalry between the White Hick from French Lick and his Boston Celtics and the Black Magic and his Showtime Lakers.
The White Hick? I ain't never heard that before, bro.
Lick and his Boston Celtics and the Black Magic and his Showtime Lakers. The rivalry between Bird and Johnson is entwined into the fabric of the NBA and is worthy of 100 documentaries. In this video, though, we're going to be looking at Bird's claim of supremacy. Here's Bird's basketball resume. His 3 championships come with perhaps the highest collective degree of difficulty of any player's championships.
Facts.
His 3 MVPs came consecutively, making him only the 3rd player to accomplish the feat, along with Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain.
Damn.
His 2 finals MVPs are misleading. He was absolutely the best player on the 81.
Whoa. They gave Mikhail one over Bird? That's crazy. I didn't know that. Hey. I ain't gonna lie. That's one reason why I can't call Kobe the GOAT, bro. Because he got 5 chips, but he only got, what, 2 finals MVPs? Like, you can't. To be the best player, you got, like, every chip you got to be the best player on your team, bro.
Celtics, but he was only a sophomore to exact a little vengeance on a legendarily difficult interview. His all-star and first-team selections also come with the caveat that Bird only played for 13 seasons and missed all but 6 games of the 89 season.
Damn, he played 13 seasons and got 12 All-Star selections and 10 All-NBA teams. Hey, that's ghost. That's ghost stuff.
Surgeries on both feet. I can hear you already. A 13-year career, and this guy is supposed to be the GOAT? What color of paint are you huffing, Clayton? Green, obviously. But hear me out.
Bro.
Yeah, Bird's career lasted about 2/3 as long as it should have. But what he did in that time was so impressive and so substantial that every basketball fan acknowledges that he's in the conversation as the greatest ever. Doesn't it matter that those 13 years saved professional basketball, delivered a disproportionate amount of memorable moments, defined the golden age of the league, and produced a career by which all other forwards, before or since, are measured? Bird squeezed every drop of talent out in those 13 years and made it seem more like 30.
I didn't even know Bird only played 13 years. I know y'all in the comments y'all keep telling me he had crazy injuries that like derailed his career and he was still putting up crazy numbers, but only 13? Because what, Jordan only played 15. He played 2 less. How much Magic played? Like 12? 13 too? Damn.
Just leave his fingerprints on the game.
That's crazy.
He left so much of his DNA in the sport that it needed.
Bro could have had even crazier stats if he played longer. Let me go back though. I know I hate when I talk over the video.
Just leave his fingerprints on the game. He left so much of his DNA in the sport that it needed a cigarette afterwards.
A cigarette?
There's something to be said about the candle that lasts half as long but burns twice as bright. Those 3 MVP years stack up with any other run by any other player.
Hold on, let's look at this. From 1984 1986, well, those are 3 MVPs, right? What do you average? 26, 7 assists, 2 steals, a block, and 8 rebounds. Damn. Look at his field goal percentage. 88 from the free throw line, 39 from 3, damn near 40, 50 from the field. Oh my God, Bird was going crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
I will put an A+ Larry.
No, it was 10 rebounds a game. My bad, y'all. He averaged 26, 10, and 7 with 2 steals and a block on 50, 40, 90 shooting. Bruh, Larry making that case. God.
Bird season up against anyone's. What does an A+ Larry Bird season look like? A full box score, a blowout win, a nearly undefeated record at home, and a play style that could only be described one way: white. Larry Bird isn't just a white basketball player, he's the white basketball player. To describe Larry Bird's game is to thumb through the Hoops dictionary and pick out every cliche about white players. Unathletic, great shooter, good fundamentals, the whole thing. The archetype of a white basketball player is Larry Bird, with one exception. He had an unparalleled understanding of the game of basketball, both as a physical contest and as a mental competition.
Bro, movement was crazy. But do y'all ever think Jokic could catch up to Larry? Like, ever become even close to as good as Larry was? What y'all think? I think Jokic got a chance to be the next great, like, white player ever.
His basketball IQ infected everything he did and catapulted his career into legend. Bird was a complete player. Jerry West called him nearly as perfect as you can get. He was the league's first great marksman. He could contort his body to shoot from anywhere on the court, regardless of the level of defense. He pioneered the art of the dagger 3 and was the founding member of the 50-40-90 club. At 6'9", Bird's understanding of angles and coordination led to a higher rebounding average than Patrick Ewing, and it made him an impressively adept.
Averaging more rebounds than Patrick Ewing is crazy for Bird. I'm learning new things every day. Every time I watch a video.
In his younger years. 86, Bird dropped 47 points on the Blazers, playing the majority of the game left-handed.
Oh yeah, I remember. I think it was a Bird video I was watching. Y'all said I had talked over this, even though I already knew he did this before. It wasn't nothing new to me. I already knew this happened. He dropped 47 in his left hand, because he was saving his right hand for somebody. I already knew about this, bro. So like, I know y'all was mad. I talked over it, but I already knew about it.
His lack of quick lateral movement meant that Bird didn't do much when it came to slapping the floor and picking up the opposing point guard, but his size and omniscience gave him the ability to body similarly sized players, read defenses like a free safety, and pick off passing lanes with ease. His passing was transcendent, and I'll highlight it later. And of course...
And this is also what I wanted to see. I wanted to see more Bird defense highlights, and I'm seeing in this video because I want to know how good he was on defense. I see he had active hands, bro. He definitely was
passing
active
lanes
on
with
defense.
ease. His passing was transcendent, and I'll highlight it later. And of course, you need to know that Larry Bird was a tough MFer. He had a superhuman motor and dove for loose balls like a beagle at the park. He was a willing...
Hold on, bro. Bro, head just bounced off the ground. I ain't gonna lie. That type of hustle and determination, bro, you're never seeing that again, bro. Like, in the NBA today, you're never seeing that again, except for, like, players that's fighting for a roster spot. Like, you're not seeing that from stars, bro.
He had a superhuman motor and dove for loose balls like...
just bounce off the ground like that. That is crazy. What? Larry Hustle just different, bro.
Eagle at the park. He was a willing participant in his share of fights. Often balls like a beagle.
Why they choke each other out like this, bro? Why do you think it's choking each other out like this, bro?
Participant in his share of fights, often precipitated by his league-renowned trash talk.
Oh, shit. Told Robert Reed to stay there. He should have stayed in preaching. That was funny. He had 50 points. I was guarding him.
Hold on, bro.
Precipitated by his league.
Look at Larry that punch Larry through. He tried to knock bro head off. Larry was a demon, bro. We watched Larry trash talking video, so we seen this already.
He should have stayed in preaching. That was funny. He had 50 points. I was guarding him my rookie year. He looked at me and he goes, "You can't stop me." And I looked at him and I said, "Gosh, boy, you're so confident." He proceeded to score like 10 straight points on me. The coach took me out the game. He walks by and he's laughing at me.
He was a basketball genius. He'd be a step ahead, a thought ahead. Play the game like a chess game.
I'd much rather guard Michael Jordan than Larry Bird because you have to play the game as a thinker when you're playing him. You have to get inside his mind.
If you put all of us in a room, you know, Magic, Jordan, myself, and Bird probably be the guy who walks out of the room at the end of the day.
Did you notice something during those testimonies? Those are some of the best basketball players of...
Damn. Thinking about that, what he just said? That made sense, because Larry was like the smartest out of them. Like, probably Jordan, Isaiah, and Magic, they probably like kill each other, and Larry just gonna talk and talk. Like, that was...
Myself and Bird.
It's crazy.
Bird probably be the guy who walks out of the room at the end of the day.
Did you notice something during those testimonies? Those are some of the best basketball players of all time, and they all sing Bird's praises like they were former assassins who had to go toe-to-toe with John Wick, and they're just happy to be alive. Bird excelled during one of the most talent-rich periods in league history. The abridged list of his basketball rivals goes like this: Dr. J and Moses Malone on the Philadelphia 76ers, Sidney Moncrief on the Milwaukee...
Man, he cost my guy Dr. J so many rings, bro. He should have like 3 rings, bro.
Dr. J and Moses Malone on the Philadelphia 76ers, Sidney Moncrief on the Milwaukee Bucks, Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer and the Bad Boy Pistons, Dominique Wilkins on the Atlanta Hawks, Bernard King on the New York Knicks, Michael Jordan on the Chicago Bulls, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Ralph Sampson.
Y'all told me he used to do Jordan dirty. Y'all said Jordan, he like 6-0 against Jordan in the playoffs. So I was like, that's crazy. But I mean, Jordan's first years, he was losing, so it's not surprising.
On the Houston Rockets. And of course, Magic Johnson, James Worthy, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the Los Angeles Lakers.
Man, I remember when I be calling them plumbers, but I mean, he did play a lot of comp though. I'm not calling these guys plumbers. I'm talking about like the no-name scrubs, like, but he definitely played hella comp. I ain't gonna lie.
All right, there's no point avoiding it any longer. We have to look at Magic versus Larry. If you have Magic over Larry, it's because he has 5 rings to Larry's 3, had a peak that lasted about 2 or 3 years longer than Larry's, and had a 2-1 record against Bird's Celtics in the finals. Perfectly legitimate, completely respectable arguments. But in the interest of making Bird's case, allow me to retort. For nearly the entire decade...
Wait, and I got a question. How, like, I know the Lakers and the Celtics was like both OD talented, but like, was the Lakers like way better than the Celtics, or how was that?
But in the interest of making Bird's case, allow me to retort. For nearly the entire decade of the 1980s, the Eastern Conference was irrefutably the more competitive conference between the two. Considering the competition, for Bird to have made 5 finals appearances is just as impressive as Magic's 9. As for the head-to-head record responsible for Magic's 2...
Bro pulled a LeBron. 9 finals in 10 years.
Extra titles, he had more help. Seriously, the Celtics' Big Three and the Lakers' Big Three get compared all the time historically as if they were of equal caliber, but weren't Magic's accomplices just a step above Bird's? No disrespect at all to Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish, but Kareem was the alpha dog on the 71 Bucks and was the best player for at least 2 of the Lakers' 5 times.
Hey, Kareem was old though. But he was still great, but Kareem was old. Don't try to undervalue Magic rings to make Bird case. Don't do that.
Titles. James Worthy was the #1 pick out of UNC after winning a championship as the best player on a team that had Michael Jordan on it. Throw in the fact that Magic got to be coached by Pat Riley, one of the most brilliant minds in basketball history, and you could say that the Magic-Bird argument comes down to one thing: luck. So if their careers come down to luck, the question just becomes who you would rather take. Now, I'm not making this video to tell you why you shouldn't take Magic. I'm making this video to tell you why you should take Bird. Not just over Magic, but over everybody. One thing that helps him is the fact that his play would translate perfectly into the league today. A 6'9" sharpshooting forward with eyes in the back of his head who averaged double-digit rebounds in an era against Moses and Lambeer. He'd gobble up boards as a power forward. He'd be an offensive...
I would want to see how Bird would guard people today. I feel like, I ain't gonna lie, Bird's getting cooked. I'm sorry. Trying to guard KD, he's getting cooked. But I don't know. That's the only thing I like how Bird would play on defense and nowadays, because everybody's way faster than him, way stronger. Now, I wouldn't say way stronger, but more athletic. So that's what I like to see.
Mismatch against everybody as a small ball center, and his off-ball skills and passing would pair perfectly with the flow of today's game.
The bro definitely could play today and be perfect. He could fit any team, bro. Any team. 6'10" sniper, bro. That can pass, do everything, and he can play a little bit of defense. So, and he can rebound too. So he fit any team, bro.
In his competitive mania and 3 generations worth of medical advancements, and we're talking about a player who could have stuck around so long they would have had to rename the league. As you've been watching these clips of Bird, I would hope that you would notice something. He always knows where everybody is. Watching Bird play basketball is like watching those monsters from A Quiet Place that know where you are if you make any noise at all. Bird had a level of clairvoyance that bordered on the unnatural. In '85, he ended up 1 steal away from a quadruple-double after playing just the first 3 quarters. His passing...
Bro almost had a quadruple-double in 3 quarters. Hey, coach, so why didn't you play Larry?
Was famously infectious and helped transform the Celtics of the 80s into an ideal that basketball teams at all levels are still shown tape of. They moved the ball with precision and intent, always looking for better shots and determined to get the entire team involved in the effort. Movement, bro. That fact is almost entirely attributable to Bird and his wizardry with the ball. This acumen also helped Bird become the only player with a GOAT claim to transition successfully into other basketball roles after his playing career. In his 3 years as the head coach of the Pacers, Bird won a Coach of the Year award, coached the Pacers to their first and only finals appearance, and gave Michael Jordan as much trouble as he'd ever gotten in his career in the '98 Eastern Conference Finals.
I did not know Larry. I did not know Larry was a coach. I thought he was just like a GM or a president or whatever he is now. I didn't know he was a coach. That's crazy. A great coach and player. Makes sense.
After moving into a front office role for Indiana,
Yeah.
he won Executive of the Year in 2012, becoming the only person to have an MVP, Coach of the Year, and Executive of the Year
That's
award.
crazy.
On the court or off of it, inside and out, Larry Bird sees basketball as only he can. That intelligence also lent itself to Bird's defining skill, making the big plays. Remember, NBA players get paid to win games. James Harden is getting paid nearly $40 million this year because he's supposed to help the Rockets win games. Victory can be achieved in a lot of ways, and the win column doesn't care how it happens. As Mark Sinclair once said,
"It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning."
Facts. You won.
but when your team is down 1 in a crucial playoff game with 8 seconds left, and you need to hit a shot to stay in the series and keep your season alive, that's where players really separate themselves and earn their money. Love it or hate it, it's the players that come through in the big moments that live forever in our memories. Some players, for whatever reason, were never able to do it consistently. Some players were
Patrick Ewing wasn't clutch. I did not know that.
truly outstanding at it. Larry Bird was the best at it.
Facts. Y'all think he more clutch than Jordan? Hey, let me know in the comments who more clutch, Larry or Jordan. Well, I like to hear what y'all Jordan stands got to say about that.
I'm not going to give you the stats about his field goal shooting under 2 minutes with a score that's this close, or tell you who has the most buzzer beaters or any of that.
Take that for data.
I'm just going to show you clutch moments in clutch situations. 1985 against the Blazers. Bird drops 48 points, including this. Down 1 with 2 seconds left.
Inbound pass, the double team in Bird. Larry, fake, fall away.
Hey, that is the longest 2 seconds in NBA history. But that's a crazy shot though, bro. Look at the clock. That's not moving.
Pass, the double team in
1,
Bird. Larry,
2.
fake,
Like that's
fall
he
away.
did not get it off in time. That's still a tough shot though, bro. Like that's great.
1985 against the Hawks. Bird sets the Celtics scoring record with 60 points with shots like these.
They open the right side. Bird the fall away. He
Dang.
throws it again. That's the best shooting I've ever seen.
1986 against the Rockets. Not all of Bird's clutch moments were singular. The bigger the moment, the bigger his performance. In Game 6 of the 1986 NBA Finals, Bird clinches the championship with a triple-double in what he calls the best game he ever played.
2 seconds on the shot clock. Bird wants a 3 on 50.
Damn, that was like Hakeem's second season. He was in the finals his second year. That's bro. Hakeem is slept on, bro. He definitely one of the best centers ever, bro. Like he might be the best center ever. He really slept on. He one of my favorite centers too.
1987 against the Washington Bullets. Bird hits 1 shot to tie it before it's waved off because of a timeout. Hits another shot to tie it up for real.
Crowd is standing up. It goes now to Bird.
Oh my God, off one leg.
And then in double overtime, down 1, he does this.
It's going to go to Bird. He's got a shot.
Giat.
And it's got it. A 3-point field goal. And that's it. It's all over.
For 3 years, from 1986 to 1988, the three-point contest knew no other champion but Larry Bird.
Bird don't even be trying. That's too easy.
This is a tie for the money.
Bird don't even gotta try. Bro said.
1987 Eastern Conference Finals, Game 5. Tied at 2 games apiece against the Bad Boy Pistons, this enormous game would put the winner 1 game away from the NBA Finals.
Oh
The
my
Pistons
God,
are
give
up
me that.
1 with seconds remaining. The ball goes out of bounds off the Celtics. Isaiah Thomas just needs to inbound the ball to win the game.
Oh, he's so. Isaiah Thomas so. Those is winning plays too, bro. He didn't score, but he got the steal. He made the pass. Like bro won the game for them. That's type of stuff LeBron would do, and y'all be like, bro should have took the shot. Like the double standards is crazy.
There are truly too many big games and big moments for me to go through without this ending up as a documentary. But that all leads me to this, what I really want to talk about. 1987 NBA Finals, Game 4 against the Lakers. LA is up 2-1, and the Celtics need to win to tie the series and stay alive. Bird hits a 3 with 12 seconds left to go up by 2.
Bird goes for 3.
Dang.
Kareem comes down and gets fouled with 8 seconds left. He makes the first, but misses the second. LA ends up with the ball with 7 seconds left, down 1 point.
In the low post, being guarded by Dennis Johnson.
Byron Scott is in the ball game now.
Magic hits this, the baby skyhook.
Oh,
With a hook shot, scores with 2.
that's a crazy
2
shot.
seconds left. Down 1.
Dennis Johnson on the inbound. Bird fires it.
What do you think happened?
That shit straight draws.
I bet it wasn't that. When I paused the tape and the ball was hanging in the air, you thought it was going in.
I definitely did.
Bird thought it was going in. Magic thought it was going in. I've seen this game before, and I still think it's going to go in. But it didn't. Pat Riley said it himself. We got lucky.
Definitely.
And that, a missed shot in the NBA Finals is why he's the clutchest. Because after he makes the big plays, has the big games, hits the big shots, time and time again, you expect him to hit every shot, to win every game. Possible. And in those fleeting moments when he doesn't, when he looks like a mere human, when he looks like everyone...
Like, I'm looking at the type of dog Larry had, bro. Look how he's diving on the floor, bro.
He
bro
looks
face first
like
into the ground. Hey, bro, I got a different type of respect for Larry Bird, bro.
You're human.
I ain't gonna lie.
When he looks like everyone else who tries to do what he does, you just can't believe it. That's what Larry Bird did. He made the big plays so often, you thought he was gonna make them every time. He helped turn basketball into a global phenomenon, paving the way for every Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, or LeBron James who comes through our lives. He played basketball in its purest form and captained a team that is consistently ranked among the greatest of all time. He has the second highest win percentage in the history of the NBA. Behind Magic.
Bro, they ran on the court before, bro, even the clock ran out. Hey, Boston used to get lit. The Garden was crazy.
He has the second highest win percentage in the history of the NBA. Behind Magic by less than 0.5%, about 10 games. He was the complete package, a player with no holes in his game whatsoever. They called him Basketball Jesus. He didn't get that name without doing
I thought Jordan was Jordan was Black Jesus. Never mind. My bad.
Something extraordinary. He saved basketball. And he did it by playing it better than anyone else. Here's Magic at Bird's retirement in 1993.
Larry Bird said that there would be another Larry Bird one day. And Larry, there will never, ever, ever be another Larry Bird.
And that's facts. And we still haven't seen one yet, like 30, 40 years later.
To the greatest basketball player ever, but more important, a friend forever.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I love their relationship, bro. Like, that's just GOAT. Like, those are just two GOATs, bro. That's definitely was a W video. I mean, this video was definitely made me see Bird in a different light, but I still don't have him in that top 2 debate like I got LeBron and Jordan in. But I mean, the him and Magic debate is definitely, I'm leaning more towards Bird. I used to say Magic was just better than Bird, but now it's really argument, bro. Like I gotta really.
Nigga turn his back on me, now I won't kill some. I just did a song with EST plus I don't feel none. Tryna get $1 million. This so freaked out, geeked up, deep up. She won't eat my children. She like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Man, make sure let me know what you want me to react to next in the comments. I got y'all, and I'm out.